Good morning, welcome back to Tarot Tats and Tea, and here I am with the video about the darker decks that give us a kick up the backside. Now if you recall, my previous video was decks that bring positivity and light. This one is this video is based on decks that could give you the proverbial kick up the backside when you need it. When do I use such decks? I use what I would call the darker side. I would never say negative because I don't believe they're negative. They all serve a purpose. And I use the darker type deck when I'm in the doldrums. If I'm feeling, look, this doesn't feel good, what can I do to overcome this? Or what are the intentions of X, Y and Z, where in relation to the situation I'm currently finding myself, why has this happened, why are the behaviours of or energies around me pulling me down, etc, etc. Those are the sort of things that I like to address. As you notice, I'm in my sort of black and white today with the theme of the decks. However, before I get onto the decks, now today I've got 4 decks. I do have other decks that I would also consider address these issues. One that I haven't used and I should have, I'll pull it out now in a second. Or should I? I'm just adding a 5th and possibly 6th deck, because one comes under positive and kick up the backside. All positive, I should say, light and dark. Now, we'll leave it as it is for now, and I just want to share something with you. The postman has just arrived. And yes, our postman's name is Pat, and he's a lovely man. And he's always, when he delivers, he goes, "More tarot decks, Elaine." And I have just received this envelope that I've just opened. This has come all the way from the UK. I'm obviously not going to give the address out, but this is from Sandra. You know Sandra Moore from Spirit of Avalon. Sandra has kindly sent me a deck that she was looking to rehome, and I've got a little envelope here that I shall open and have a look at what it says. I'm not good at opening envelopes neatly. I should actually keep a little envelope opener here, but I don't, and I'm just ham-handed at times. So let's, oh, it's a lovely little note just to say, thank you so much, Sandra. Yes, we're getting there, and I will message you and give you an update. It's a beautiful little card from Sandra. And here we go, the deck's all nice and wrapped here. Oh, scissors, scissors. Let's have a look. Now, I've had my eye on this particular deck for some time, but I've never sort of bitten the bullet and gone and purchased it. And I can't tell you why. I don't know why I haven't. I just haven't. But let's have a look. Oh, this is opening up nicely. Sandra, I feel like it's Christmas. Let's have a look. This is the Heaven and Earth Tarot by Jack Sephiroth and Jamie Elford. Okay. And this has come all the way from Sandra, Spirit of Avalon. Thank you so much, Sandra. The Heaven and Earth Tarot is about the deep and unique connection between the human and the divine, between what is spiritual and what is material, between eternity and the present moment. In a way, tarot works because the everyday exists within the higher realm of the divine, while the divine exists within every action and emotion of the everyday, and that is so true. Jack Sephiroth's artwork and vision are rooted in the images of the Waite-Smith system and blend with absolute mastery with the deeper occult wisdom of the Thoth deck. Jamie Elford wrote the companion book, bringing additional insight into the symbol of each card, a guide that is sure to bring surprises and reflections to beginners and experts alike. Just looking at the back, I'm loving the imagery. It's produced by Lo Scarabeo, and let's get stuck in and have a look. So the Heaven and Earth Tarot. Oh, Sandra, thank you. Sandra's included a lovely tarot bag. Thank you so much. The book is lovely, and one of those lovely sort of semi-chunky books that hasn't been used, Sandra. This is brilliant. We've got areas to keep notes in on the back, so if any card that you want to get stuck into, or there's a card that you might pick out of here that you look at the interpretation of the creators and think, oh, I could add X, Y and Z to that. So here at the back you could write the name of the card and put what additional information that you would like to add to the interpretation, putting your smot on it, you know. We have different spreads that we can use. The as above so below spread, I'm really going to have to test that one out. That is one that would be quite pertinent in my life at the moment. The exploring spreads, it's the present, past, present and future. Where will you go? What will you do? Where will you go and what do you need? Spread. And then the as above so below. We've got the structure of the tarot deck, what each suit represents. So cups is water, pentacles earth, wands fire, swords air. Then princesses are earth, knights are fire, queens are water and kings are air. And we have here each suit, Princess of Cups, water of earth, Knight of Cups, water of fire. So they each have their own suits. I've lost the word. Element. And that of their specific rank. So Princess of Pentacles, Earth of Earth. Because we know princesses are earth, but they also have the suit element as well. Then it gives us a breakdown of each of the cards, and it gives quite an in-depth breakdown. So if we take, for instance, the Nine of Pentacles, it talks about image, heavenly interpretations, earthly interpretations, questions that you can pose to this card, and transformations. Oh, I do like it. I like the moon card, looks gorgeous. But I'll get back to that and show you in the deck. But it does have your sort of Christian-like sort of images, but that's not the angle I would come from with this. It's more, for me, I would put it in eras as opposed to a religious or Christian twist on it. So here we go. This is beautiful, the Fool and all the symbolism. If you look at the bottom here, I'm going to hold it up to close to the camera, you can see the symbolism in by the title there at the sides. See? So that's the Fool. Now the Magician, we have a very Jesus-like look about it. I think where Jesus had the crown of thorns, this crown looks like there's a bandaged area, however it looks like a crown of laurel. So let's have a look, but it gives you that sort of miraculous air about it. Miraculous, magical. Okay. Whoops. I want to lean Murphy. What are you doing here? Making the cards fall on the floor. It's because I'm balancing them on another deck, which I shouldn't do. The High Priestess is beautiful. And if we were to look at it from a religious or any sort of religious or twist, you could say this could be any of the saints or Mother Mary type of thing. But that's our High Priestess. The Empress. The Empress is beautiful and almost has that Lord of the Rings, you know, when they go into the fair, the world of the fair folk, the fairy folk, or I can't remember the name of them. But is it Galadriel? You know, some beautiful. I might have the complete wrong character there, but I'm sure you get my gist. The Emperor. Oh, again, same sort of thing. Now we've got our Hierophant here, and our Hierophant he definitely has that papal vibe about him. This one, there's a strength. He could be as stern and as like an elephant in a china shop, really, a bull in a china shop, yet there's that feel to him that he could also be peace, almost like St. Nicholas, Father Christmas, as well as, so as hard as a tough exterior, he might have a soft interior. Okay. The Lovers, that's this. The Lovers card is quite typical of our Lovers card, yet here the trees, although you know we have our fruiting tree and our tree that's on fire, almost like Moses and the burning bush and Eve with the apple and the serpent, the two here combining, you know. Oh, the Chariot. And what I like again about this Chariot, the Chariot, although we have the mask, like somebody going into battle, knight going into battle, the mask is making this charioteer faceless. So whoever you read this for, you can envisage the person who's in charge of driving their own chariot. Oh, I like the Strength card. And the Strength card here is saying, you know, that yes, you have an inner strength to stamp on even the most venomous of enemies. Oh, I do like the Hermit. Oh, wow, it's got very misty, dark night vibes about it, almost ethereal. When you look at the, and I'll hold this Hermit up to you now, even his clothing around here, the lower part, it's sort of it's mystical with sort of cloudiness, a smokiness about it, that sort of ethereal look. Beautiful. So would this deck, I won't go right through the entire deck, but I'm going to ask you now, if you could say, put into the comments, would you feel that this deck would come in with our darker decks, and that would give you that sort of kick? Personally, I would say yes. Yes, it would, because the images here are very, very detailed, but they're very, they speak to you. They do speak to you. Look at the Justice card here for a second. Now, normally you see our Justice, you know, our Justice card here, and it's, you know, blind justice. She also reminds me of the Eight of Swords somehow. Look at that. That, you know, you have to make a judgment. Sometimes that judgment call's not going to be easy. And as much as we like to sit on the fence and say, look, justice will be served, I don't want to make a statement about this, I don't want to make a move towards it, I don't know which side to talk to or look at or help, so I'm just going to make a decision on what I hear. Sometimes we have to open our eyes and see what we see, because what we hear without seeing can sometimes be very, very deceiving. So like the Eight of Swords, this justice here, Lady Justice here, needs to remove the blindfold in order to make a true and fair decision about something. And that's saying, look, stop being blindfolded. You know what you need to do, and you can no longer sit on the fence on a topic. You need to make a decision, and the decision you make from everything that you see that is honest and right and just will ensure that your decision when making a justice call is correct. But it's also, if you were to receive this in a reading, Justice could be taking her blindfold off to actually peer at you and look deep within and say, did you do the right thing? Are you doing the right thing? Will you do the right thing? You know, there's so much here. Oh gosh, it's quite unbelievable. You know, it's beautiful. Look at this tower. Look at that for a tower card. Oh my goodness, just look at that. It's like Halley's Comet has just blasted into the top there, never mind a lightning bolt. It's unreal. And if you look at the sparks flying down from the tower, it's the Hebrew symbol, and I cannot remember the name of it. I'm not going to pretend I do know, I'll look it up. But they all form that little Hebrew symbol that is like raining newness. Look, this is a disaster, but it's going to clear the way for you, you know. Do you know, Sandra, thank you so much for sending me this. I really, really do like it. I do like it indeed. Oh my goodness. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Ooh, look at that Ace of Cups. Simply stunning. Simply stunning. So this deck, if I was to make a decision how I would classify this deck, for me, and I haven't, this is the first time I've actually ever looked at it at all, for me, I would say that this would fit into my darker decks, definitely, but in a manner that would make me question my steps forward, that the tarot is saying this, is this the way I want to go? And, you know, it would make me analyse things pretty much like all these decks that I'm going to show you now would. There's our Ace of Pentacles. Look at that. Absolute beauty. Oh my goodness. Lovely, lovely. I'm going to give this deck a good shuffling, Sandra, and I'm going to do a reading for myself today with it because I definitely need pointing in the right direction right now. And yet, oh, perfected work. Oh, established strength. I didn't realise. Oh my gosh, Ace of Wands. This is what you get for not looking at the title cards. Now, there's Ace. Now, the Two of Wands, Dominion. The Three of Wands, established strength. The Four of Wands, perfect work, perfected work. The Five of Wands, strife. Yeah. Victory, valour. Oh, you know, I actually quite, I'm not usually one for keywords on a deck, but with the imagery, this sort of goes perfectly. Look at our Ten of Wands, oppression, oppression, you know, and that is so correct. Lovely jubbly. Yes, the Three of Swords, sorrow. Oh, absolutely, you know. The backs of these cards are very nice. It just look like pentacles in the background. You can see them. It's all sort of pentacles just floating around like little pixels. And it's actually a beautiful deck. Sandra, thank you so much. It's actually nicer than what I thought. I've never actually looked through this deck in its entirety. In fact, I've only looked at images from it from within catalogues or online. So this is the first time that I've actually seen what this deck is actually like, and so far so good. So this is definitely going to come under the title of today's video. So I'm going to pop that. That's the Heaven and Earth Tarot, and what a wonderful way to start a video with a gift from Sandra, and I really, really am so delighted with it. Thank you so much, Sandra. And the bag, the lovely tarot bag that goes with it. Lovely. So I'm going to pop that there, and that's our Fool on the front of the bag there. So this is going to find its home. Can't go there, and it can't go there for a reason, but I'll put it there for now because you'll see the box that usually sits there. Sandra, I'm leaving your message here on my desk because it's very supportive and very much in the sort of vibe that I need to pick me up at the moment. Now, let's go forth. Now the deck I'm going to show you in the ones that I've picked out, one of them is a deck by a Corrado Roy, and it's the Murder of Crows. Okay, now the Murder of Crows is a very quirky deck. Well, I say quirky, but I know I've had friends who have looked through my decks, and one picked them and said, oh my god, that one sort of gives me the chills. And I can understand that. I think, had I not had that experience with another deck that I gifted a long time ago, the Hush Tarot, I would have thought, oh, don't be so damn silly. But I can understand where they're coming from. Now, we can see that this is quite dark in nature, okay? And it's one that you say, well, how would that possibly influence the way you feel? Or how could a card that does look like it's very much on the darker side of things give you that kick that you need? Well, what we have to remember when we've got decks that predominantly have crows in them, we need to remember that crows have messages of their own. Now I am referring to notes that I have made here, okay? So notes that I've made here. So, we know that crows symbolise a huge amount. They don't just have one specific meaning. They symbolise transformation. They symbolise magic. They symbolise connection with spirit. They symbolise growth. They symbolise change. They symbolise guidance, getting in touch with your intuition, as well as guidance in going forward from spirit. Okay, they sort of facilitate messages and support for self-growth, self-discovery and moving forward. Okay, the crows in a tarot deck tend to be the ones telling the story, not the human figures. So from knowing that crows facilitate all these different things with in their all these different meanings, you can look at the crow, look at the card, combine the meaning of the crow themselves with your interpretation that would be, say, of the High Priestess. Okay, you would sort of say, well, hold on a second here. Now, the High Priestess, our intuition, knowledge going forward, like that, the crows have that, they're saying to you, you get in touch with your intuition, you've got this. Your spirit guides are saying to you, you can do this. Your ancestors are saying to you, we've got you. Okay? This is a time to look at you and create that change that is needed going forward. Okay? And we can look at the one here. Let's look at this one here, the Magician. And very much so, we've got the crow sitting on the Magician's shoulder here. Okay, now we can look at the Magician card from its lighter and darker side, and the Magician telling you you've got what it takes in your toolbox to overcome obstacles, to create what you want to create, to be the you want to be. We've also got the Magician that says, watch that sleight of hand. Who are you dealing with? Can they be trusted? Can you be trusted? Is there a side to you or another that could be seen as devious, sly, or, as we would say here in Slivine? Okay, you need to be watching. Keep your eye on the ball, but know that whatever the circumstances, whoever could be there trying to kick the stool from underneath you or to trick you into doing something different, you have the wherewithal to see through this. How do you know? Well, look at the crow. The crow's looking into the distance. The crow's on your shoulder, and it's sort of saying, keep a lookout. Don't just focus on here, but what's going on? What's the energy around you? How can you go forward? You can go forward by looking within, by getting in touch with your intuition, by taking all your skills and talents, your beliefs, your strengths, everything about you to transform into the person that you want to be, to create the life you want to create, to go forward on a much higher plane, knowing yourself inside out. Okay? And that is the message that I feel comes with most, if not all, crow decks. Okay? Now, previously, I wouldn't have been much of a one for animal decks of any sort, but I have developed this sort of affinity with crows. I have a huge amount of them here around my home. I love sitting outside feeding them. I just love them. And so when I got this deck, I thought to myself, I need this. This is one that I actually was drawn to, and it didn't give me the ick. It didn't give me the creepy feeling. Look at this one here in the Ten of Cups, okay? And we have the crows flying around, but look at the cloud in the sky, so to speak, the spirit crow. That's saying you're being watched over, that your ancestors are looking after you just as much as the family and friends you have here on earth, that you are supported, you can go forward, and you can be lifted up by others emotionally when the times are needed. And that has been very much a big part of my life for many years, and it's, to me, I find it's very true. Here we have our Four of Swords, and here we have our human imitating the crow, so to speak, taking on the crow's symbolism, energy for rebirth, growth, transformation after taking that rest that's needed to move forward. So that is the Murder of Crows Tarot, and it's one that I find very, very useful in my life, very much on an advisory capacity. Okay, so pop you back on your place there. Now, another deck that I have here, it's an RWS, but it's the Dark Side of Tarot, and it's by Corrado Roy again, the same man, that's the same person who did the Murder of Crows, and it's the RWS. Sorry, I just knocked my iPad there. My iPad's not being used today because the battery's low, so it's on charge. Now here we go. We have our backs, okay, and it's our traditional sort of tarot images, but in black and white, okay. And you'd say to yourself, well, how would this differ to a coloured version of this deck? I find, again, if I'm in one of those funks, that sort of low feeling, and this doesn't drag me down. This like tells me, you know, in darkness. Now, if we look here, our charioteer doesn't look as energetic as he does in a colourful card. And this is saying, get your shit together. You know you can do this. Don't let the energy that's around you drag you down. And the energy, look at the doldrums that this fella that's gardening, maybe his tomatoes didn't turn red this year and he's a bit pissed off. But let's just look, hold on a second. I've planted these seeds. If I nurture them, if I love them, if I find another way to redden my tomatoes, just pick them off the tomato plant, put them on your windowsill, and hey presto, you'll have red tomatoes. Okay, so it's like saying things aren't always as dark as they seem, and we need to be able to lift that cloud of darkness when it comes to moving forward. Okay, so that is the Dark Side of Tarot, and I've only just this has been in my collection for 3 years. I purchased this when we went to a beautiful part of Spain called Tossa de Mar. If anybody ever wants to go somewhere that's picturesque, peaceful, beautiful, and has a vibe all of its own, I definitely recommend it. It's brilliant. So this is where I got this deck, and I thought, I know where that can sit. Definitely in my collection. Now this guy sits in here with my other RWS decks. Now, oops, I forgot to put you two in. Sorry. Let's have a look here. Put you back in here. I would have been losing my mind if I thought I'd lost 2 cards there. Okay. Let's make sure I'm putting them in the right way. Here you go. But yeah, that Murder of Crows really is one that does the job all right. And it's lovely that, you know, if you can take the energy of the crow and all its symbols, and any crow deck really, there are a couple of crow decks. That's the only one I have, but I am looking at it's the Tarot of the Crows, I think it's called. That looks like a nice one. Now I've put the Phantom Tarot in this area as well, okay, and I'll tell you why, because it's the Phantom Wise Tarot, not the Phantom Wise Tarot, and like that, lovely piece of tissue paper that goes over the top of the deck. Again, it's a black and white deck. Now the 4 of Wands, we've got Celebration, okay, so albeit it's black and white, it has that lighter sort of playful vibe about it that you wouldn't expect from a darker deck. So when you're sitting there, you're thinking, oh God, what do I... You can use the Phantom, because the Phantom just says, yeah, you might be feeling a bit shit now, but look, there's a happy side. Let's get our sticks, and instead of all fighting in different directions, let's use them to beat that, what's that thing full of sweets? What do they call them? I can't remember what they call them. Those things that they hang up for children to beat, and all the sweets that drop out of it. So instead of fighting together, it's like, let's work together. You know, let's work together to get the sweets, to get the treasure, instead of all pulling in different directions. You know, it sort of gives you that vibe. Look at our King of Cups. He's just so cool, so chilled, sitting back there saying, look, look, I'm wearing the suits. It took me a long time to get here. You can do it too, and I'm going to support you in doing it. Just chill, relax, stop being so serious. Okay, we could say the same with the Queen of Cups. Come on, my darling, let's lead them in the way. Let's show them where we're going, what we're doing, and how we're going to do it. Okay, the Eight of Wands gives you that feeling of speed, of things happening quickly, of there being a breakthrough in those clouds, you know, in those darker days. The Star card is quite simply gorgeous. I love this Star card. Okay, but there was one here where now. This magician is the one saying, watch the sleight of hand. It's a lovely, lovely look on this character's face. All the tools of the trade on the table, but he's got the ace of spades in his hat, a bit like the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland, also a little bit like the devil in Christaberg's Spanish Train. Sam's got a toy and he doesn't want Sally to get it. It's usually the other way around. There you go. Nine of Pentacles, again, chilled, laid back, doing what you've worked hard to do, and that's enjoying things. Judgment. Now, as opposed to the Judgment card that I shown you earlier on in the Heaven and Earth Tarot, this Judgment card is quite different. You've got that all-seeing eye, you've got the heart and the feather, and this is real, true judgment. Things are going to be revealed, okay? And if your heart's not good, doesn't matter how much we listen or see, the truth will be revealed. And it's down the river Styx you go. You know, so all this, you know, they're just gorgeous. The Ten of Pentacles, look, you know, every man's castle is his home, or every man's home is his castle, you know. Ace of Wands with growth around it, you know. It's just gorgeous. Now, the Death card in this is very different, because we look here, look at this Death card. Now, the umbrella is there, okay. It's warding off. It's sort of like a level. We know umbrellas protect us from getting wet, from the rain. But this is, you know, the scythe is here. You're not seeing who the one is that's going to be ringing that death knell, okay? You've got this faceless individual who is either a person, a situation that's going to happen unexpectedly, and when that is revealed, you could have quite a surprise and say, well, I wasn't blooming expecting that, because this umbrella without the scythe and the person holding it, oh, a petite person sitting on a wall, protecting themselves from the rain, protecting themselves from the shitty atmosphere that's going around too, ready to cut the legs from underneath anybody that tries to destroy them. So are you this person warding off the negativity of that that's around you? You know, and we go through this. I love the feel of these cards. They're I think they're very much like a material type of feel. I'm useless at describing cards, as you've probably noticed for ages now. But you know, you could do this. You could analyse every single one of these cards. You could take what you know. I haven't looked, so I tend not to, you know, take to heart too much. Unless I'm struggling with a card, and I'll look at what the creator's had to say. Let's just see what the creator says about the Death card. Death. The figure sits upon a high stone wall, their visage obscured by a large striped umbrella. A scythe decorated with ribbons rests in their lap, ready to bring endings and celebrate new beginnings. This is a time of great change and transformation. A storm passes and leaves something new in its wake. A transition, a letting go, a time to cut out that which no longer serves and to release the past, make room for new things and new growth and rebirth. Well, we were pretty much on the mark there, weren't we? The book that comes with this is only a little thin one, but it's nice and concise and precise, and I like the fact that this one actually has its spreads in the front, and it's very, very, it's not wordy, it's, as I said, concise, precise. Okay, so we've got down the rabbit hole spread. In this one we've got 7 cards, and the 7 cards, you know, down a rabbit hole you go, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, so your rabbit hole goes like that under the ground. So Sam, can you stop that tapping? Sam is playing the drum on my chairs. He's having an old scratch. Okay, thanks. Come here, let me see what's itching you. Come here. Come here. Oh, what's itching you? What's itching you? Oh, they've a little bit of an allergy that I've been giving them antihistamines for, to stop the old nasty scratch. Haven't I, sweetheart? Yes. Oh, I love you too, boy. And you, Sally, I love you too. Say hello to everyone, Sam. Hello. Say hello. I've come to disturb your card session. There you go. Oh, come on, Sal, you too. Come on, my little cannonball, up you get. Sally. Oh, Sally's quite heavy and chunky. Say hi, Sal. Oh, I love you too, chicken. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Oh, my beautiful girl. Look at your beautiful eyes. Go on, you go and sit there. Go get your toy. Go on your chair. Oh. What I like about this, the spreads, basically, we've got card 1 is the ship, card 2 is the sextant, card 3 the evening star, card 4 the north star, card 5 the morning star, card 6 the far shore, and that's the celestial navigation spread. It's gazing up at the night sky, sailing through uncertain waters and looking to the stars. So the ship, so what's carrying you? So number 1, what's carrying you? What's your ship? What's moving you forward? Number 2, the sextant, which direction are you being told to go in? Okay, that what are the conditions, what's causing the storm? Okay, the evening star, are you following the right direction? Are you pointing in the right direction? Are you following the star that you want to follow for you going forward? The north star, heading in that direction, all right, found it, go in it. The morning star, and how is your morning? What's happening? Are you awakening to this, the beauty of the day? Are you seeing it sort of bit, oh shit, you know? And then finally the far shore, your destination. Where are you going? How are you going to get there? What are you going to do when you get there? What changes are you going to make for you? Okay, so this is all another deck, as all decks do, but with darker decks I just feel that they have that bit of more of a kick when you're feeling a bit low. It's like saying, look, stand up, pick yourself up, dust yourself down, don't give a monkey's uncle what other people think. This is your life going forward, and it's down to you what steps you take. If you do make a complete hames of it, it's time for you to pick up and sort it out and accept where you've gone wrong and rejoice where you've gone right. Okay, so this deck lives, I've just taken it from, it's not there, oh, there you go, next to the Philakos Tarot. Now, my last deck that I'm going to show you, I have done this. This was a plain sort of balsa, there you go, it's that colour on the back, a balsa wood box that I got in the Works. I think you have the Works in the UK, we have them here in Ireland. I would imagine the Works is something sort of like Hobby Lobby or something like that in the US. So this was a box that had this, you know, there were just gaping holes here. So I put some red card behind this so that the skeleton stood out a little more. Put a little bit of glitter in his eyes and flowery bits around. And inside the red card, I had to paint the red card to a different shade of the paint I used here. So done that. I've got tarot stickers there. This isn't finished because this is all going to be filled. I've already made the stuff to go in here. I've got to paint it. I'll show you. I'll do another video on the boxes later. And inside here we have the Santa Muerte Tarot. Okay. Now, why have I chosen this to go with my darker decks? Because it's vibrant, it's bright, it's a beautiful deck. It's okay, it's not to everybody's taste, but I like it. And what I like about it is that this also, like all the other decks, it has a way of passing a message over, okay? Let's take, for instance, this Two of Pentacles. Look, we can work together and create the most beautiful butterfly if we look at the patterns on the skulls, they create the wings of a butterfly. But from a distance, if we look back, we can work together and really show our true colours, you know, get down to the muscle, vein and sinew of things, but we can create something beautiful in the process if we pull together. Okay, let's have a look at our world. You know, we've got where we are through fighting, through biding our time, through many deaths and rebirths, and now making the place our own. And we can do this going forward if we realise that we have what we need in order to overcome even the most difficult of situations. Let's look at our High Priestess, and what I like about this High Priestess. The High Priestess here has a key in her hand. Her key, the end of her key, could also look like the Banshee's comb. But she's got her book open, the book that we normally see closed on a High Priestess's, you know, it's like a scroll, and it's got the word Tara on it. Here, this High Priest is, you know, get to grips with your intuition. You understand the knowledge that you have. Learn more if you need to. Knowledge gives you that key to open the door to success, okay? Knowledge could also give you the key to open up doors that you don't particularly want to open up, that you wish you'd kept closed in the first place. But this is saying do your homework, look deep and make the right moves, okay? Here, our Lover's card is quite different to what we would see in our traditional tarot, because here we've got crystal skulls, we've got two skeletons, and we've got a key. And again, it's bringing together that, working together to get that key, to find what opens that metal heart, that safe, to feed growth and working together and joining together, whether it's of people, whether it's of businesses, whether it's of ideas. Now, the next card I do like. We usually see the Seven of Swords as somebody running away with swords on their back, and the colour's very deceiving in it as well, because the Seven of Swords is a bit of a deceptive card. It sort of gives us that feeling that there's a spy in the camp. There's somebody that's portraying themselves to be our friend, hence the bright colour of the card, when in fact it really slides in with the darker cards in tarot, and it gives us that sort of vibe of perhaps everybody's not what they seem, that there's a spy in the camp. Perhaps we are deceiving ourselves. Perhaps we are allowing our thoughts and feelings to run away with us and replace what was positive with the negative. Okay, let's look at this Seven of Swords. This Seven of Swords, the swords have been dropped to the ground. And here, the person is sitting on the edge of a coffin, looking in. And on the inside lids, we've got the words hope and reflection. And this is giving us the heads up to say, are you doing what is right? What do you want going forward? What hopes and dreams do you have? Reflect on your behaviours. Have you done things with clarity, with transparency, with honesty? Have your words been kinder rather than cruel? Do you have to put down your swords for a minute and think of your own actions before going on and judging others? Or is there somebody in your camp that has to do that for themselves? Do you have to sit there and go, right, let me think about this? There's the Seven of Swords here that's brought a little bit of mistrust, a little bit of bad feeling. What do I have to do? I have to put those swords down, have to look at, hold on here a second, there's something not right, or I haven't done something right, or that person has wronged me and I didn't expect that from them. How do I move going forward? I reflect on it. I hope that this can either be fixed or cut out and gone. You know, it gives you a pause for thought. So, and this is, as you can see, is a very, very colourful deck. And you would say, well, why would you have such a colourful deck listed as the darker side of tarot? Because it has the ability, with its imagery, to turn around and make you look at you, make you see, well, do you know, what did I do in this role to have that happen? What did this person do over there that caused this gargantuan shift and change of energy? How can I move forward? And it's quite a, we've got, our cups here, our Ace of Cups. And if we look at our Ace of Cups, or it's the One of Cups, our Ace of Cups, that's standing in rain, okay? It's seeing the light in cloudy times. It's saying, yes, it's raining now, but we have a little dragonfly on our skull cup. And if we look, the way the skull on the cup is cut, you could almost take the swirls there as tears. That yes, there are always going to be times of sadness, yet there are times of joy to follow. There is a light in the darkness, that at this moment in time your cup might be full of tears, but it's soon going to be full of tears of laughter. The little dragonfly there is saying, just be, prepare yourself for the best. The best is yet to come. Okay? That there is a light in dark times. And it's just saying, in life we have our ups and our downs. Because as I have said previously on many of an occasion, that without the down times, we wouldn't enjoy the up times, because we wouldn't see them as up times. It would just be one long continuous, well, yeah, this is grand, and we'd soon get fed up of it. You need those times that could be deemed as negative, that could be deemed as upsetting, that could be deemed as well, not very pleasant, in order for us to appreciate all the good in our lives. And often when we look at these times, and we'll see, well, yes, that's how I feel, but look what I have around me, look who I have around me, look who I have helping to pick me up in times when I'm feeling pretty shitty. Okay? And it's very true that we keep that in our perspective. And that's not just through tarot, that's just from you as a human being. Us as humans feel good and bad emotions. We can feel and read those vibes from people that don't always have our best interests at heart, or who do have that side of their nature that they just don't like to see people getting on. And as sad as it is, it's not your problem. When they try to make it your problem, it's up to you to pick yourself up, dust yourself down, and say, not today, arsehole. Sorry. But that's the Santa Muerte Tarot. And it's good. And Santa Muerte, Book of the Dead, and connecting with your past loved ones, with your ancestors, and just making you get in touch with your own intuition and your own spirit guides. So those are the decks that I've chosen today. Other decks that I could have added to this would have been the Deviant Moon, would have been the Philarkos Tarot. But the Philarkos Tarot and the Deviant Moon, I think I'm going to put under another category with other decks that could be our more complex decks in tarot. So we've had the decks that give us a lift and a boost, we've had the decks that give us the kick up the backside, and next, in the next video, we're going to look at the more complex decks and how we can use symbols, numerology, to dig even deeper. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed today, and I'm glad Sally and Sammy were sort of good. Sam's sitting there now watching the dog go, oh yes, I'm talking about you. Turn to Seth and say, what are you saying? Come and say goodbye to everybody, my lovely, beautiful little fur baby. Say goodbye to everybody. Say hi. I'm going to sit with Mummy now and have a cup of coffee. And yes, I'm going to have a little treat. Oh, this little boy is so blooming gorgeous. Okay, my angel. Right, give a kiss. Oh, thank you. Thank you. There you go, sweetheart. So have a good day, whatever you're doing. It's throwing it down here. One of those days where the Ace of Cups is saying, it's going to get better, Elaine. Take care, everyone. Bye now.